Hi, Rudy. Sorry to interrupt you there, but we can't hear you. Your mic has gone off. Nope, still can't hear you. Just keep saying something and we'll tell you whether it comes back.
Cool. Can you hear me now?
Oh, can hear you now. You're back again now.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Brilliant.
Sorry about that.
Brilliant. That's
How did you
okay.
get on?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome everyone to the LinkedIn training. So I'm basically going to teach you how to set up a LinkedIn ad using via social media and how to set one up from start to finish, as well as how to actually generate an ad, um, and what needs to be in that ad when you're running a LinkedIn ad campaign. Um, just a bit of housekeeping before we start. If you've Make sure you've got a pen and pad to write this down because obviously there's going to be quite a bit of information to go through. Secondly, if there are any questions that you have, feel free to put them into the Q&A or in the discuss box. And I've got a team member that is going to be joining that shortly that will be able to let me know if there are any questions or answers that need answering, so I can answer them on the actual call itself. So, to begin with, one of the things that we want to uh, delve into is how to actually um, generate an ad that's going to capture your target audience on social media, LinkedIn specifically, to then generate those leads or those sales. Now, just to kind of point out, when I'm talking about LinkedIn ad campaigns, I am not talking about anything to do with Sales Navigator. You don't have to be a member of Sales Navigator. You don't have to have a Sales Navigator account. This is completely separate. Um, so um, LinkedIn ad campaigns is a totally separate thing. And I'm going to share with you how to set up that LinkedIn ad using Ads Manager. In a second, I'm going to share my screen and show you and talk you through that. But to start with, let's talk about how to create an ad that's actually going to engage that target audience. Now, there's three elements that you need to remember when creating an ad on LinkedIn. Um, the first element is pain point and problem point. What I mean by pain point or problem point is that when you're creating an ad, you need to make sure that you're picking up on the problem point or the pain point of your target audience. So, for instance, I'll show you an example of one of our ads that we've run, and the problem points, and the pain points that we pick up on at the very beginning. And it's really important that you pick up on that pain point or problem point at the very beginning of the ad. And the reason being is because you want to grab the attention of your target audience immediately, and relate the pain point or the problem they're currently going through, so that they can go, oh yeah, that sounds like me. That's an issue that I'm going through currently in my business, or a problem point or a pain point that I've currently got. What you would then do, the second point is the solution. So once you've showed them the pain point and held up a mirror to the problem that they're currently facing, you then show them the solution. The solution being your product or service. And you would then explain how that product or service that you're providing will resolve that problem point or that pain point that they're going through. The third element of that ad would need to then be the offer, the call to action, which will inevitably help you drive that customer through to clicking the button below, the call to action button, to either get them to drive through to your website to actually buy a product or service from you, or whether it's to pick up the phone and to actually have a conversation, or whether it's to provide their contact details so that you can follow them up, from a lead point of view. So I'm going to share my screen so I can actually play you our promo video so that and then what we're going to do is then dissect that video section by section so that I can show you the problem/pain point, the solution, and then the offer so that you can understand how to format your ads when you're creating your ad to generate your own sales and leads via LinkedIn. So just bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to screen share. So what I'm going to do is, hopefully you can all see that. I'm just going to pop this page up. So the screen that I want to share is this one. So hopefully you can all see that screen. If you, I'm just going to go back to the chat a second just to make sure that you can all see it. Can somebody just pop in to the chat that you can see my shared screen when I pop it onto the Famous Wolf website? Yep, can see. Perfect. Thanks, Lorraine. Awesome. Right. So I'm just going to go back to the website so you can see it. So on the Famous Wolf website, this is one of the promo ads. We actually ran this ad, this video ad on LinkedIn and on Facebook. So it's also on our website. I've put it on here so it's easier to play without it stalling. So fingers crossed it will play smoothly. So I'm going to stop it at the point where the problem point and the pain point ends. What I'll do is I'll play it all the way through to start with, and then I'll break it up into sections. So here we go. This is the full playthrough. Hear me okay? You just whacking and discuss. Yeah. Don't know what happened then. The platform threw me out. So yeah, I hope that wasn't because the platform was bored of my presentation. Hopefully not. Right, sorry. We'll go back again to the video. Sorry about that. Don't know what happened. You couldn't hear the video. We couldn't hear your video. Right, okay. Right, okay. So let me see if I can. What I'm going to do, you won't hear me, but hopefully you'll hear the video because I'm going to go back. I'm going to share the screen again, and then I'm going to turn my mic off so that you can actually hear the video. So bear with me while I do that. But then let me know in the chat if you can still hear. Technology, eh? So I'll let me just do that now. And hopefully we won't have that as an issue. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you can hear me when I switch the mic on, but for some reason you can't hear anything that's being played on the share screen. Apologies. Not sure why that's the case, because usually you can. Okay, don't worry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to um, head straight on to explaining basically in a lot more detail. What I'll do is I'll share the web address link so you can also go ahead and watch that in your own time. Just do that now. Okay, so that's the web address link, and the video's on there, and you'll see what I mean. So at the beginning, I basically ask the questions. I start with asking questions to the people, to the target audience that we're targeting. Obviously, when we're running the ad on LinkedIn, and I ask the question about what kind of, well, it's a question, but it's more like a statement, because I'm basically saying to them, are you having issues with X, Y, and Z? Which in our case is generating your own sales, generating your own leads from a marketing point of view. And that's how I would always start an ad, is by presenting that problem point. Once you've presented that problem point, the best thing to do is to then present your solution, and your solution being your product or service. Then I would go into the call to action. What I'm going to move straight on to is sales copy as well, just while we're here. In regards to writing sales copy when you're running social media ads, it's really important to start the sales copy with a question. There's a reason why you would start sales copy with a question on social media. Now, reason being, that's not just on LinkedIn, by the way, that's on Facebook and Instagram as well. Now, the reason being is that algorithms on social media really like you to be conversational and opinion leading. If you're starting a sales piece of sales copy on social media, on your LinkedIn ad, with a question, you're more likely the algorithm is more likely to push your ad even further, as well as obviously you having ad spend behind the ad, push your ad even further to your target audience. And it's more likely to favor your ad because you're starting it with a question. Now, the algorithm reads a question as you trying to start conversation with your target audience, which means that you're going to get more engagement with your ad, and you are going to get the algorithm is going to push your ad further than what it would do if you didn't start it with a question. So yeah. In regards to the actual LinkedIn ad campaign setup, I'm going to go into that now. So I'm going to share my screen and show you how to set up an ad via LinkedIn. So here we go. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen, and then I'm going to go over to LinkedIn. So I'm now sharing my LinkedIn homepage. You probably have all seen this before. I'm just going to quickly check back and just make sure that, can you all see that when I'm sharing my LinkedIn page? Could you just whack that in the discuss? Let me know. Yeah, I'm seeing hands, like thumbs. That's great. Awesome. Cool. It's right. So I'm gonna click back to it. Yes, but it's small. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not allowing me to expand that any further. Yeah, so sorry, guys. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to let's see if I can.
Maybe if you turn your camera on full screen.
I need to minimize myself.
Yeah, do
No, that's not worked. Okay, no, that's fine. I'll just crack on. Hopefully, if you can kind of move yourself closer to the screen so that you can actually see, that's probably the best way to do it. Sorry, guys. Usually when we're doing workshops, we're doing it on Zoom, and it's a lot easier to use. Okay, so I'll just move on to sharing the screen. So go straight over to here. So once you're on your LinkedIn page, this is probably what most of you see when you're on LinkedIn, where you've got your profile name here, and you've basically got your news feed, which you can scroll up and down on. Where you want to go when you get to your LinkedIn page is you want to go to this button here where it says work. It says work, and then it's got these this kind of little waffle icon, 9 little dots. You want to click on the work button, and then it'll pull out this little sidebar, and the sidebar, it'll say advertise. So you want to click on the advertise button. That will open what's called LinkedIn Campaign Manager, which is basically Ads Manager for LinkedIn, which Facebook Ads Manager, but for LinkedIn. You want to set up an account, so you want to click Create Account. So if I just go back to that page, you want to click Create Account. I've already got an account set up, obviously, because I manage social media ad accounts for lots of different types of businesses. And then what you want to do is you want to click Create Campaign Group. I've already got a campaign group up and running, so it would then look like this on your screen. What you then want to do is click Create Campaign. Once you've clicked Create Campaign, it will give you a page that looks very similar to this. What you want to do is click Next. And then here it gives you the objective. So what you want to achieve, what you want your ad to achieve. Now there's lots of different types of what we call ad formats, in terms of what different types of ads that you might want to run on social media to achieve different objectives. Now there's a brand awareness ad, where you can obviously generate more awareness in regards to your company and your brand via social media. There are engagement ads which obviously can increase your following, can educate people on who you are as a business. It's very similar to brand awareness, but in this case, what you're wanting to do is get people to engage with you more. There's lead generation, which is obviously if you're wanting to generate more leads, which is kind of lead form generation, which is a lot more complicated, and I'll delve into that kind of towards the end. But there's obviously job applicants. That's more for your recruitment-based businesses. But what we're going to stick with today is traffic, driving traffic through to your website. If you've got a website and you want more people going to your website, whether that's to purchase product from your website, or whether that's to get them to go to your Contact Us page to pick up the phone and give you a call, or to fill out a web form, then this is where you'd want to send them. So you click on web visits, and then at the top here, it'll give you kind of a bit of a title of what your ad is named. Obviously, nobody sees this other than you, so you might just want to whack some text in here so that you know so you recognize it, so you know exactly what this ad is called. So for this purpose, I'm going to call this network, if I can spell, network B2B event. And then the dates in there, so I know what this. So if I'm looking back on these ads, I can see what ad was for what. You can see that the objective is web visits because that's what we chose. You would then go into audience selection. Now this is where you choose your target audience. So it's really important, guys, for you to really know who your target audience is. So that when you get to this section, you know what types of detail that you want to add in. When you get to this section here, it says where is your target audience. So you want to think about location. When you're running ads on LinkedIn, you can target people on location down to specific cities or specific towns. Just so you know, if those of you that have ever ran Facebook ads or Instagram ads, you can actually target down to postcode. It's not, the geographic targeting on LinkedIn isn't that specific. However, it's specific in other areas where Facebook and Instagram isn't. For this purpose, we're going to stick with the location United Kingdom. But then what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down and we're going to then look at targeting your audience further based on search. Now, you can narrow your target audience down to real small detail, but you can also exclude specific audiences as well. What we're going to do is we're going to go into here, and what I want to do is I want to narrow this audience further. So click on narrow audience, and then I want to click on audience attributes. Now, the beauty of LinkedIn is that I can target people by company, industry. Well, these are all the different categories basically that I can target people by, but the main ones that I like to use when we're targeting for our clients is industry type. So for instance, I say if I wanted to target the retail sector and also the real estate sector, so I would click on real estate, I'd click on commercial real estate and real estate, and then say if I wanted to click on, I wanted to target retail. So I'm going to target, I'm not going to target supermarkets or wholesale, but I'm going to target retail. So that would be retail properties, retail kind of outlets. Well, if I wanted to then say also target, for instance, the health and wellness industry, then I would click wellness and fitness, and I'd click health, wellness and fitness. I would then go back, and then one of the other sections that I like to target is by job experience, and I go into job titles. Now, the reason why is because if you think about when you're selling your services, there's always a decision maker within each industry sector that ends up holding the purse strings and makes a decision on whether they're going to purchase from you or not. What you want to do is you want to target those exact individuals, so those are the people that actually see your ads. So for argument's sake, for this purpose, we're going to type in managing director. So if you choose managing director, and then what it does is it gives you a number of suggested job titles down here as well. So I could choose senior managing director, head of strategy, for instance, financial director, if it varies in terms of decision maker. As I populate these, you'll see that the target audience on this side increases. So you want to kind of keep an eye on that. With LinkedIn, you want to make sure that you are targeting no less than 1 million if you can. If you are targeting a very small location and you're not targeting the whole of the UK, say for instance you're targeting only a small like city, then just make sure that the target audience is as large as you possibly can get it. The larger the audience, the better, but at the same time, you still need to make sure that your targeting is in place and you're targeting the right individuals. As well as managing director, I'm going to also type in marketing director for this one, and that gives me them as an option as well. Once I've chosen industry type and job title, another one that is quite good is also in companies. If you scroll down, you can see company size. Now, I know that a lot of business owners are like, they don't work with certain sizes of businesses. Some people will go, I only want to work with businesses that are kind of like have 50 employees up. Or some people might go, yeah, I only want to work with small business owners, kind of where it's one individual. Say if you're a coach, for instance, you might only want to work with small business owners that are just starting out, like entrepreneurs. But this is where you would do that. So for this purpose, I'm going to go 51 to 200, and then I'm going to tick all the boxes just above that. And as you can see, as I make the changes to who I'm picking in terms of my targeting, my target audience either increases or it decreases. Once you've kind of gone in there and you've kind of filled in this information, you can then move on to the next stage. Now, there's a section here called Enable Audience Expansion. Basically, what this means is that you can reach a much larger audience based on the targeting information that you've put in here. LinkedIn will try and find more individuals that are similar to the target audience that you've already placed to try and get your ad seen by more people. There's also a placement. I'm going to come back to ad format, but I'm just going to go to here where it says placement, where it says enable LinkedIn's audience network. What this means is LinkedIn will inevitably show your ad to off the LinkedIn platform to other partner websites in front of an audience that might not be exactly your target audience. Now, I would recommend, even though LinkedIn's saying to you and recommending for you to keep this switched on, I would not. I would switch this off, because effectively your ad could be being seen by people that aren't necessarily your target audience and could be clicked on. If it's being shown on websites, you can get bots clicking on your ad, which will effectively increase the amount of cost, but not that your ad that is charging you to run your ad, but not necessarily a lot of gain. So I turn that off to make sure that the budget that we are actually spending is attributed budget to the targeted audience that we actually want to see your ad, that would actually be in the market to buy your products or services. One of the things that I would say about ad format is we always like to use video content. The reason being is I would always suggest using a video ad rather than an image-based ad or a carousel, simply because of the fact that we know that video ads convert customers so much quicker and so much easier. People are more interested in watching video. They feel like they can build rapport, like they build rapport with you, with your brand, a lot quicker watching video, and it means you can get your message across so much easier. You don't have to, just on the video front, I know a lot of you would probably be thinking, oh, I don't want to get in front of the camera. I'm nervous about getting in front of the camera, or I'm not a professional videographer. So how do I do that, Rudy? Now, what I would say to you is you don't need to have a professional polished video. There's this common idea that video ads on social media, and they need to be perfect, they need to be polished. They don't. People actually prefer non-polished video currently at the moment than having a polished video. We've ran the trends before, and we've noticed that people, especially if you're a small business, the brand is very much about you still. And I know this is going to be uncomfortable for a lot of business owners, but if you are still a small business and you are still very much the brand, it's going to be more about personal brand than it's going to be about the actual company, which means that it's really important for you to kind of push past that comfort zone, because let's face it, nobody grows if they stay in with their comfort zone. So it's all about getting out of your comfort zone, getting yourself in front of the camera, and it's quite easy. You can literally get yourself in front of your mobile phone in selfie mode and literally do your problem points, offer your solution, and then do your call to action. Simply filming it on a mobile phone like an iPhone or an Android is enough. Just all that I would say is there's a few apps to write down that I would use if you wanted to edit and you need to add captions. There's one on iPhone called Video Shop. So that's Video Shop. If you've got an iPhone, then you can also use iMovie. And then to add captions to your video, because when you're playing video content, one of the things you've got to remember is that a lot of people on LinkedIn specifically don't always play videos with the sound on. So there's a website that I would upload your video to that automatically adds captions to your video, and then you can re-download it. And it's called Quick Captions. Quick is spelled Q-U-I-C-C, and then captions. And if you want to type that into Google, that'll bring up the website and you can go straight there. There's no affiliation, by the way. I don't get paid to say that. But yeah, I would recommend doing that. You can upload your video. I think it gives you so many free uploads, and then there's like a tiny cost attributed to that if you wanted to have a membership with it, but it's really tiny amount. But basically you can add captions then automatically to your video, re-download your video, and then post it on LinkedIn. So that's just some insight there. I'll come back to the chat in a minute towards the end, so if you've got any more questions, I'll answer them. So yeah, so just to kind of cover that off, I would always choose video to run video content when running your ads. They're a lot more effective, they convert quicker, and from a results point of view, we get a lot more results. One of the other things is that once you've kind of targeted your audience, there's another thing that you can do with targeting is you can target by skill set and interests and traits. Now, the great thing about interests and traits is that you can target people by member groups, by members' interests. So if they're interested in, for instance, solicitors, for instance, if they're looking for a solicitor for employment law, all that information will be stored on pages they like, or things that they've typed in, or companies that they visited. So you can actually use the targeting within here to be able to put in those skills and interests the same way that we've done with the rest. So as you can see, there's various different interests here. So for ourselves, obviously, we want to target people that are interested in marketing and advertising, and then B2B marketing, for instance, within these different company industries, targeting these job titles and these company sizes within that location. And you can see it's actually reduced the target size audience from 11 million down to 2.2 million. The next thing I would go down to is budget and schedule. So with your budget and schedule, what I would do is you want to set a daily budget and a lifetime budget. Your daily budget, you want to, from a LinkedIn point of view, when you're running ads, I would always put aside an ad budget of around £1,000. That's not to say that it's going to spend the full £1,000 over the 30 days that you're running the ad campaign. But the algorithm likes to see that you are open to running an ad that could potentially go up to £1,000. Obviously, that's when you need to make sure that your targeting is perfect to make sure that you're getting the return on investment. But the lifetime budget, you just want to put the lifetime budget in, and that's the budget that you're saying to LinkedIn you would be open to spend over that 30-day period. From a daily budget point of view, what I like to do is that I like to kind of delete the daily budget out, because it'll always preset it as £20. I'd put one in there, and then it'll basically tell you what the least daily budget you can put in. And then you want to put your least daily budget in there at £8. You can change this at any time throughout the ad campaign. And the reason why I do that is to make sure that I'm getting the maximum amount out of my ad spend. And it's not going to just charge me extra amounts for no apparent reason. So I start off with £8, and then I increase it over time. If the daily budget, not the lifetime budget, over time, to make sure that we're increasing on return in investment and it's spending to the maximum amount. For every pound that we spend, we want to gain a ROI on that pound. You then set a start date. So say, for instance, you wanted to start the date today or whenever, you can start that date then. And that would be the date that the ad runs till. You then have the bidding section where it's the optimization goal, and you've got two different options. You can either have the ad run at maximum delivery, which is automated, or you can do it at target cost. Now, I run ads. I would suggest to run ads, if you're doing this for the first time, to leave it on maximum delivery, which is automated. Let the algorithm do its work. Otherwise, what I would do is I would look at targeted cost, which means that you're going to need to kind of be more involved in the ad. If you're a small to medium business and you're busy doing the day-to-day, you won't have time to keep coming in and out of this. So what I would highly suggest to do is stick to maximum delivery automated. Conversion tracking is something completely separate. So this is delving into the world of LinkedIn Insight Tag and how to set up an Insight Tag on your website to be able to track your conversions. This is something that we would definitely need longer than 45 minutes to talk about. However, if you want to learn more about that, I'll be able to explain more kind of towards the end and how you can learn how to do that and how to set up ads in more detail. So the thing that you need to do next, once you've filled out your budget and you've assigned your budget and the start date of your ad campaign, you want to click next. And you want to save. Once you've done that, it'll ask you to actually create and upload your ad. So you want to click create new ad. You then want to put your this section here where it says name this ad is basically for your eyes only, so nobody else is going to see this. So we're just going to put it in as ad 1. We then want to upload the video. So we click upload, and then this is where I go, here's one we made earlier. So I'm going to click on here, desktop, webinar ad sets, and then promo video, and then just upload the video. The video will start to upload. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my sales copy. Luckily, I've got sales copy already saved for speed. And you'll see by the ad copy that I start the ad copy with a question, like I said before. So if it's too long, which can sometimes happen on Facebook, you don't have like a set amount, whereas of words that you can use in the copy, whereas on LinkedIn you do. So what I would do is, if you have time to kind of go through it and then cull some of the words, so that it's kind of going more straight to the point within your ad copy. And that tends to be what we do, is we make sure that the ad copy is a lot shorter than what it would be on Facebook. It can be frustrating, but it just means that you are a lot more effective with your sales copy and getting straight to the point. So yeah, it has to be within 600 words, less than 600 words or 600 characters. Once you're filling out once your video is finally uploaded, you can also upload a thumbnail if you want, so that when people come across your ad, it's the first thing that they see before your ad starts. We're not going to with this specific ad. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to fill out the headline. So headline's going to go in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm also going to add the link. So once I've put my link in there, so I've uploaded my text, my video, and also my headline and link. And then I'm going to go to call to action, and I'm going to choose learn more. And then I'm going to click create. Then the ad will upload. This sometimes can take some time. As I'm going to let this load up, what I'm going to say to you is, is the reason why you would click the call to action, learn more, rather than maybe buy now or get quote, is because it's less committal, but it also means that the person doesn't feel like they're being sold to too heavily. Sometimes it can come across too in your face if you're trying to like drive a sale down someone's throat. Whereas if you're if you use the softly approach where you're asking them to learn more, we found that works better with ads than going down the buy now approach. And then you can take them further on that sales journey to get them to buy. That's going to take a bit of time to load up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to this page and start to answer a few questions. Once that's loaded up, by the way, all that you need to do is click launch, and then your ad campaign will go live. I'm aware that we're running out of time, so I kind of want to get through this as quickly as I can. Why is LinkedIn advertising so expensive compared to Facebook and Instagram? Yeah, reason why is effectively Facebook and Instagram has been around for a lot longer. But the difference is that LinkedIn feels that they are able to charge more for their advertising because of how targeted the ad sets are. So effectively, you can target people by job title, whereas on Facebook and Instagram, you can't do that. And because it's more of a B2B sell, they're expecting you to gain more of an ROI. Because their targeting is a lot more kind of a lot more specific, and because you can get your ad in front of your actual decision maker, they feel, rightly or wrongly, that they can charge more. Whereas on Facebook, we always suggest to Facebook, our clients that run ads on Facebook, to put aside a limit of around £500 ad spend. So yeah. In regards to, totally, Catherine, in regards to a polished video, having a more authentic look and feel and getting yourself in front of the camera, especially if you're a small business, is a lot more effective than going for that polished look at that stage. When you're a medium to large size business, it's totally different. It's kind of expected for a more polished ad. But for when you're a company that's kind of very small and it's more about you as in the personal brand, I would suggest to massively push personal brand, which leads me on to another thing. What I would say is if you're a business owner, you need to start being more active on LinkedIn organically, which means posting content, engaging, providing value on social. But also what I would suggest is making sure that you're linking with your strategic alliances, linking with potential customers, and instead of doing that whole sending in mails, which people hate and don't read, connect with them organically, comment on their posts, and build up a relationship that way, and build up a community and a following of people that you could potentially sell to eventually on the long term. Because then when you set up an ad on LinkedIn, if you've already done the legwork in terms of building brand and building personal brand on social, on LinkedIn, then that same community, when you run an ad to them, they're more likely to buy from you because you've built the brand and trust in the first place. So it's really important to know how to build brand on social before you start to run your ads. Now, if you want to learn more about how to build brand on social and how to run your own ad campaigns, as well, what we're doing at the moment is we're running a social media training course at the moment where you can become a Wolfpack member and learn how to manage your own social media and how to build your own brand on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, and then also how to generate your own sales and your own leads on the platforms. I'm whacking the information into the chat right now so you can see that for yourselves. And that will be I would be interested in becoming a Wolfpack member. Awesome. Cool. So I'm just going to whack that in the chat now. So there's a few different offers that we're running. We've got three different leads, kind of three different levels, sorry. We've got level 1, which is the beginners kind of training course, which is how to build brand on social media. It's a 6-month course. Each course, by the way, that we run is kind of each level, sorry, has got separate courses within each level. So we've got level 1, which is how to build brand on social media. That covers Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. There's 6 courses, so 6 months worth of 6 courses, 6 months worth of training. We've got level 2, which is basically how to run ads on Facebook and Instagram, and how to generate leads and sales on Facebook and Instagram by running ad campaigns. And that's level 2. However, make sure you build brand first before you try and run ads, because if you try and run ads before you've built brand, you're going to struggle to get the results. And that's a note to take down, whether you do anything with us, or, whether you join become a Facebook, sorry, get my words out, before you become a Famous Wolf member or not, whether you do or not, always remember, build brand first, then run ads, because that's the best way for you to get the maximum return on investment when you do run ads. So yeah, in regards to that, so we have level 1, which is 6 months, and we're running that for people on this course only. We're running that at £30 per month. Within the training course, what you get is you get regular video training. So every single month of what stage you're at. It'll take you stage by stage in learning, so that you can, at the end of the training, you'll become an expert in what we're trying to teach you in terms of building brand. You don't just get video training, you will also get audio versions of the training as well, which means you can learn on the go if it's not something that you need to implement straight away. Also, we give you downloadable PDFs that you can download and then implement the training as you go. We don't just do that. You also get a 1-hour webinar with me every single month, where I will give you up-to-date training on what's going on, algorithm changes, because what you've got to bear in mind is social media is changing weekly. And me and my team are constantly training every single week to make sure that we're on top of our game, so that when we're delivering this, because obviously we run this as a service as well, that when we're running ads for clients, that it's always on point and we can get the return on investment for clients. So this is the reason why we do the 1-hour webinar every single month with me when you're a Wolfpack member, so that we can impart that knowledge to you, so that you can get maximum results in your business for yourself. Bear in mind, this training is specifically designed for small businesses and also entrepreneurs. And the way we've designed the training is so that it's going to be quick and effective learning, so that you can implement it within your business and then carry on with your day job in terms of what you're doing day to day. Because we're fully aware that small businesses and entrepreneurs are, one, very, very busy people, because they're trying to do lots of different things at once. And then on top of that, you might not necessarily have the budget that medium to large size businesses have to hire an agency to carry out the work. And so this is the whole reason why we designed the Famous Wolf social media e-learning course, so that you can become a Famous Wolfpack member and learn, so you can implement it within your own business and benefit from that and gain your own return investment and build your own brand. So eventually you can grow to become a medium-sized business if you wish, and get to the point where you can hire an agency. Or if you just want to maintain, then it shows you how to maintain. The level 2, which we're offering at £150 for people that are on this call only, because it's usually £300 level 2, and level 1 is usually £60. So we're offering 50% off on these courses right now. And it's only to people that are on this call. Level 2 is all about how to generate your own sales and leads via Facebook and Instagram. The course training is 8 months, so it's 8 courses over 8 months, and you get exactly the same amount of content. So you get video training, audio versions, downloadable PDFs. You get the 1 hour webinar with me as well. But you're basically learning intermediate level social media ads and how to actually generate ads, which is a lot more complicated than building brand on social. And we go into a lot more depth than we have done today on today's call in regards to how to run ads on Facebook, because notoriously it is a lot more complicated. But if you get it right, then you can make some serious money on this on those platforms for your business. And obviously, in this day and age, social has become the new form of marketing, and it's where everybody's eyeballs is at, especially in the current climate. We're also offering a package deal where you can get level 1 and level 2 all at the same time, and it's still drip fed through every single month so that you can learn in your own time. But it's basically £170, and you get level 1 and level 2 as a whole package. And it means that you can learn how to build brand and also how to run Facebook and Instagram ads at the same time, section by section, every single month. So the links are in there. I don't think it's hyperlinked it, but you should be able to kind of copy and paste. Yeah, you can actually highlight the links and then paste them in to your web browser. Has anybody kind of got any questions on that in terms of what I've just covered in terms of the what we've ran through today? Sorry, I know it's been a proper whirlwind kind of stop through. I was aware that we only had 45 minutes, so I was trying to bash through it as quickly as I can. Have you got any questions that you want to ask me now? Have you got any questions in regards to becoming a Wolfpack member and learning the course? Whack it into the discussion. Let me know. Or are you all just kind of like too much information? Thank you. Thanks, Wendy. No problem. Like I said, if you want to learn more, obviously the course is there. I'm also going to be doing a lot more in-depth version of this workshop where I'm going to be covering Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and LinkedIn ads again in a lot more depth on the 26th of February. On the 26th of February, I'm going to be doing a workshop, where I'm going to be going through that in more detail. It's a 2-hour workshop, so you're going to have a lot more time on there to get that information and digest it, and I won't be rushing through it like a madman to try and fit within 45 minutes. It's on Eventbrite. I will see if I can grab the link for you somehow. If you go to my LinkedIn and you basically, I'll share my LinkedIn profile now. Just bear with me 1 second. And I'll quickly share with you just 1 second, bear with me, through the magic of the technology. I'm going to send you the link to the Eventbrite workshop on the 26th, if I can. Okay, right. Okay, so I'm just whacking this in the chat now. There you go. So there's the link, guys. That's the post that I've done on LinkedIn. If you click on that post, it'll take you through to the post and the video, and it's basically me explaining about the event on the 26th of February from 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. where we'll be doing the Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn ad workshop. So I teach you how to run your own ads in that workshop for free. It's no charge. You just sign up and register on Eventbrite. I'll teach you in more depth on that call, so it won't be as rushed. But it'd be great if any of you want to join as a Wolfpack member. It'd be great to have you on board. Obviously, those offers are only going to last for a small amount of time, so we'll only be running that offer for the next 24 hours. and then after that it won't be available, and it'll go back to the normal prices. So if you want 50% off forever, and to get access to those trainings where we go into a lot more depth and you can learn in your own time, feel free to click on it and get access. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. Can I get everybody to just whack a 1 in the chat if they feel like it went okay? Kind of, if it didn't, then type in a 10. I won't be offended. I just need to know how if I did all right or if I need to kind of improve. I know there was technical issues, so I'm really sorry about that. blame Mark though, not me.
Thanks, Rudy. What have I got to give you a 10 for? I've got to give you a 10 for something. Is that right?
10 if it's really bad, 1 if it's good.
Right.
That way. Yeah. 1 if you were okay with it. 5 if it was like, it was all right, Rude.
Rudy, this is where I confess I've literally just joined. But people were sending me messages saying how good you were. So there you go. Excellent.
Okay.
Right.
Cheers.
Okay, folks, there's a networking session going on next. I'm going to move you all over to that. Rudy, thank you very much. We do appreciate you've been on for ages. That's just wonderful. I'll get the details of all the folks that are in the audience for you so you can reach out to them. There's a load of little blue likes going up there. So really well done. Thank you very much. Okay, folks, I'm going to move you across to the networking session and we'll see you all very soon.
Thanks, everyone. See you soon.